the V8. How much more American does it get? Well, it turns out you guys wanted to see it. So here we are, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the garage. Welcome back to my little piece of paradise, the Lonestar Hawaiian garage. If you're new around here, I'm just a crazy Hawaiian Texan that loves cars, makes a couple videos from time to time. And if you're enjoying the content at any point in the video today, feel free to scroll down, hit that subscribe button below, join the Ohana, join the family, because at 100,000 subscribers, we've been given permission to break ground on a brand new shop build. Going right there on the other side of that gate. It's gonna be a glorious day, but that day is coming in the future. What today's about is creating a sweet, sweet symphony of a V8 Rumble coursing through some brand new headers. Yeah, you guys wanted to see it? We're doing headers. It's gonna be a good day. Let's load up the 2020 Trail Boss and get that party started. I got a Route 44. All right, guys, we made it. We are here at the location in which we're going to be making quite a lot of noise. We are at the OG's house. And when I say OG, I mean my dad. This is my dad's house. This is where the addiction, my addiction, began. What we have behind me is a 1999 Chevy Silverado Z71. Here's a nice little photo of it before it became a deconstructed work in progress. We have what is going on this bad boy today. The truck itself has the legendary 5.3 liter Vortec V8, which will run until Kingdom Come. This is actually a much more stout setup than the ones that are in the brand new 2020. The garage store's got a mind of its own, by the way. Much more stout than what's even in the brand new trucks, because Chevy is now owned by the government. We just don't talk about it. Government motors, baby. So needless to say, in a few weeks' time, this truck's gonna look phenomenal, but it's currently in pieces. We got fenders here. We got the bed sitting on the back porch. My mom is thrilled about this, by the way. There's the bed, there's a bumper. So my dad is doing it the right way, taking his time. My kids are also trying to help with some chalk. Sorry about that, by the way, Pops. So what we have is headers from eBay.com. The reason we went with these is this piece right here. This truck does have a silly EGR valve, which kind of routes back up into the intake. And if we delete that, it's gonna throw a check engine light. We're not gonna be able to pass emissions, not gonna be able to pass safety inspection. It goes to high flow cats. We have locations for our O2 sensors, and it does go from 2 to 1, and we can go back to 2 towards the back of the truck, but we might actually just dump it there at the rear axle. We're not sure just yet. And those that remember back just a few videos ago, we actually tried to retrofit the Borla S-type exhaust on this, which was a complete failure. It's funny, 22 years, trucks change a little bit and things don't line up correctly. We could get it to about the rear axle, but when it's split at the rear axle, just all the angles and bends, it just wouldn't work. So we're back to kind of square one with the headers. We're probably gonna order just a cheap exhaust system to get it to the rear axle, dump it, but that means the Borla S-type is for sale. So I'm gonna post it up on Instagram. Go follow me at Lonestar Hawaiian on Instagram. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna get these things out, ready to go, and start pulling out the stock manifolds. Fenders falling off, hood falling off. Oh, I love old trucks. So my truck, when I get this light under here, it only sticks to like 2 different things. Everything in your truck is steel. Everything. Nothing's aluminum. Bingo! Oh, jeez, I ain't right. Cast iron. Curious if it's just the sheer heat or if it's the movement of the motor going back and forth for 20 years.
I don't know, but the thing is, they make a part to replace the. Actually, you don't have if you can't get it back there and do the easy out.
Yeah.
You have a part to add on to that.
So I'll show you guys that in a second. He has a bracket that actually replaces that rear bolt because this manifold, for whatever reason, when you pull it off, is just notorious for that bolt breaking. So aftermarket companies have actually created a bracket that replaces that back bolt because the only way to basically work an easy out in there to get the sheared bolt out, the motor's got to come out. And not a lot of people want to do that just to pull the manifolds off. You got it?
Yep. Man, that baby's heavy.
Cast iron. Weight savings. What do you think, guys? How do you do compared to the 4-year-old? Better cameraman?
Yeah, he can keep his job.
He'll keep his job. Whew, it's one thing I don't miss about this house. Afternoons, extremely toasty. The sun just kind of comes down and bakes this whole entire area. But that's fine because it's time to bake some brand new headers. So let's get this passenger side all bolted up, and then we'll deal with the nightmare here in a second on the driver's side. All right, when it comes to these older trucks and buying aftermarket parts, especially off of eBay, nothing ever fits perfect. So what we have, we've clearanced it a little bit there, but the problem is the more we press it down at that angle, this edge sticks up a little bit further, which is where that contact is closest. The worry is
this edge right here. Here?
Right there. Okay. You want me to mark it for you?
No, just hit it.
Like a glove! All right. Yeah, remember this truck a Jeep right now. I'm sorry, we gotta show the internet what the torque wrenches used to look like.
Oh, they still had the good ones, but these were the most reliable.
Oh my heck.
Old school, baby!
Hopefully metal doesn't wear over time, right? Oh, you press that thing?
I don't want to break up.
What's up, dude?
What am I looking at? I'm still worthy.
He's got a hammer, he's running. All right, spark plug, still accessible even with the header on, so that's good news. Hooking that all back up. All right, so we got most of the bolts in the driver's side header, but as I mentioned before, that back bolt is notorious for breaking. So what we have here is an aftermarket part that's pretty popular. Essentially, this bolts to the back side of the engine block, and this bolt here, you tighten that down, and it presses this up against the rear of the header, which is essentially going to seal that back end off. So this was popular enough to come right up when we were searching about it, and yeah, so I'm gonna hop down there. Actually, it's easiest to access from underneath. So put that up against the back, and then I'll find the threads and get her tightened down. Holy smokes, that's a lot of grease.
That's why it doesn't squeak.
Some people say if it's leaking oil, it's got oil in it. Other people say if it's got grease on it, it don't squeak. Oh, that was easy. Yep, give me a...
With a ratchet fit on there?
You and air tools.
Yeah, you bet.
We're gonna spend 36 minutes getting... No, you can't fit that. Not even close. Give me a regular ratchet. Freaking air tools. Air tools versus electric tools. All right, I'm gonna be here for a little while. I'll come get you guys in a bit. Remember, it's aluminum. And that bracket that we've been kind of fighting with for a little while is, okay, that bolt presses up against the header, up against the head, and essentially seals that off. But there we go. This is our next step. Gonna hook these things up to the back side of the headers. Finish a quick pizza break, getting in your way. We're gonna do a quick once over, and then we're ready to fire this thing up. It's taking about twice as long as we thought, or I thought, or probably should have. But we got two redneck Hawaiians in here just trying to figure it out as we go. Headers are installed, torque to spec with torque wrenches from the 1800s. We're gonna call that good though. And then we did in fact get the Y pipe installed. They came with those silly donut gaskets. Some of the older guys will understand. They don't do it anymore because it's just silly and stupid. But basically there's a little donut gasket that kind of crushes and collapses in on itself as you clamp this down. So we have it on both sides. We have the header on that side going to this Y pipe. The crossover comes here, joins together, and it's dumped right there. We thought there were a few different options. What we can do, we could bolt the muffler back up that was on the truck, or we could go full send and just start it as is. So we're going full send. So it's gonna be loud.
We're moving.
Well,
Getting at
this is the fun part. It's what we've been working for. It's what has all been waiting for. A bunch of check engine lights and a whole lot of noise. Do we have a fire extinguisher? Go get a fire extinguisher.
Okay, this came from an automotive shop, which was
1987.
35 years ago.
Is it still in the green?
No.
Yeah.
Ready?
Hold on, make sure it works. Okay, fire extinguisher ready. I'm ready to act if needed. Yep. Hot rod, baby. It didn't sound like it was misfiring. All right, hold for a second. Round two. Two, not four. Two. Bolted up the EGR, actually lined up pretty well. Got it back into the intake. We regrounded, I think, on the bottom of the alternator. Hopefully, this runs a little bit better this time.
Oh no! Not good. And I don't have a jumper like you do.
I looked at it when I was leaving the house. I was like, oh, we're not gonna need that. The Fantic T8 Apex would come in clutch right now, which I did a review on a little while back, and it was fantastic. It's just sitting in the Mercedes in the driveway because that's the car that typically needs it, not this one, so I never have it in this one. Could that have been any more anticlimactic? So we can't get the Trail Boss in close enough for jumper cables to jump the battery off of, and this thing is on stand, so you can't roll it out. But my dad does have a charger, like a battery tender. I've never understood those terminals. The little baby, like, meh terminals. Yeah, that was probably it, the reason it wasn't running. Because once it starts, right, it starts pulling power from the alternator. It's alive! It's alive! She sounds healthy.
Christmas time in here. Every light's on.
That sounds so good. Sounds like a leak. I think right here. Oh, she smells like a little muscle car too. All that work, so worth it. And I wouldn't torque them too much, you can break that bolt off.
Quiet it down a little.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh well, it worked.
I gotta get a pulley on there, start squeaking again.
Sounds so good.
Can't run out of gas.
I'll help it. I'm sure that's safe. Guys, today's been a massive success. Actually, more of a success than I thought we were gonna get. That sounded incredible. Old hot rod tone, smell, feeling, rumble. Yes, we have about, another half of the exhaust to go, but I would not complain if this truck did not find a muffler in the next 6 months. Just saying. But if it does, a high flow muffler would be just fine with those long tube headers. That looks and sounds so incredible that I'm really, really tempted to start looking at some for this thing. A new truck with headers, which I'm certain the ECU in this thing would be super happy to figure out what's going on. Oh, that one's definitely.
A Raptor killer? There you go.
Yep, the 07 is definitely getting lots of upgrades there. The question is for the 07 though, do we get an entirely new power plant or do you build the 5.3 that's in it? The 5.3s can handle, a decent amount before it goes kaboom. And the engine's only got about 60,000 miles on it. Transmission though is one of the worst transmissions Chevy ever built though, so that thing will go once you start adding power. We've added 4.5 horsepower today. Today's been a success. We have now headers. I think we're about 6 inches past open headers, so technically almost open headers. I'll call that a success, guys. So thanks for hanging out with us here in the OG Lonestar Hawaiian garage with the OG Silverado. Guys, let me know what you want to see with this truck. We have quite a bit of exciting work to go on it, and it's going to happen regardless. The question is, do you guys want to see it or not? We can continue to create content with it because paint's coming next, wheels and tires, potentially suspension, and that motor, it's got a few legs less. And
We'll wait for it to blow though.
Yeah, we're almost purposely trying to blow the motor. And once it does blow, we can actually figure out what we're doing with it. On top of that, we have a 1955 Chevy. We can do really an old school build, which I would be extremely excited about. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We're gonna head back home. We're gonna call that a day. If you enjoyed this one, please smash that like button below. Helps me out, helps this channel continue to grow. 100,000 subscribers. We're breaking ground on a brand new shop.
Get the shop done, we can paint this in the shop.
That's a good idea.
Hurry up.
At the rate you're doing, I'll be done with the shop by the time you're ready to paint.
Yeah.
All right, guys, next video is going to be an update on the shop, actually, in the fight I'm having with my HOA at the moment, but we're going to win this thing because I figured out a way around it. We're going to talk about it more in the next video. Until that day comes, y'all take care. We hope. Aloha.
Wait, who gets done first? The truck or the shop?